What's going on, guys? Keith Lamberth here with the KFL player interviews for the playoff matches. Let's go, Nick Audi. Welcome into the interview. Thanks for taking the time to come on with us tonight.
Thanks, Keith. Thanks for having me on.
Appreciate it, buddy. Hey, up and down season, you guys have had some big wins, some close losses, some tough losses, but you guys put on a heck of a show this weekend with Rhode Island. We're talking a couple last-minute lead changes. Tell me about this match.
Yeah, I mean, it was crazy. We were fishing Lake Wallenpaupack in northeastern Pennsylvania, and it can be good at times, but it was a slow day out there. Both teams didn't end up having limits. We only had 8 fish apiece, and we were just grinding for every fish we could catch. And I mean, I didn't really know what was going on at the time because I was fishing to like lines out, and then I was watching the score at the end of the game, and like 2 minutes after lines out, I saw Chris Catucci put up an 19.75, 19 and 3/4 inch largemouth that looked like it won the game. But I didn't know this at the time. Frank Matalevich on our team, he caught a 16.75 and got the picture with 13 seconds left in the match, and he was able to upload that and end up giving us the win by 2 inches, and it was just incredible.
I mean, that's kind of the exciting part of about what we do. You never know. I mean, I know there's constant communication. You're on the live feeds, but sometimes you just never know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a heck of a back and forth. I was out in the water myself and was watching the scoreboard, and I was in shock and awe as always.
Yeah, and it was back and forth all day. I mean, we got out to a little bit of an early lead. I think we were up like 20, 30 inches at some point. And then it kept getting close. They caught another fish. We would only catch one. And then right at the end of the game, I mean, it was a close game. I mean, we knew it was going to be within inches and possibly even quarter inches, but we never imagined it was going to be as close as it was. Actually, one of our guys, Chris Santoro on our team, he was fishing in a similar area as Chris Catucci, and he heard him catch that fish, and Chris was all pumped up like yes, like and rightfully so. He thought he won the game.
Right.
And then as that was going down, apparently Frank was reeling in that 16.75 that put us back up. That it was just crazy. I mean, what a crazy ending. Way to start the playoffs.
I mean, hell, it's playoff time. That's what we live in. That's what we do this for, right? You never know. The next catch could always be the big one.
Yeah.
So you guys are going to go on the road this week to the number 2 seed, Indianapolis Knights.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure it's going to be Lake Manitou. Tell me what you think about the upcoming match against Indianapolis.
Yeah, so unfortunately, I'm not fishing, and Ryan is not fishing that matchup. We have Mick Wood, Nate Hall, Jeff Rabbit, and Mark McHammer are going out there to that lake, and they're going to get their pre-fishing in. They're going to have 2 solid days of pre-fishing. It's not the biggest lake in the world, so they're hoping they can figure something out, try to break it down. I know it's a largemouth lake, and it's kind of shallow, but there's some deep water too. But I think it's going to be that fall transition bite, like just starting to work into the fall transition. And sometimes those lakes can catch on fire during that transition, and sometimes it could slow them down. So I mean, they're going to have to wait and see till they get out there what it's looking like.
Indianapolis has not lost a home match.
Yeah.
Not lost a home match.
Yeah, I mean it's tough.
Guys.
It's tough. I mean, we know that going in, we're going to have to give it our best effort, and just all we can control is how we break down the lake and how we end up fishing. So if they end up on a better bite than us, I mean, so be it. That's their home lake. They're going to do that. But I mean, we're going to give it our best effort, and all we can control is the fish that we can catch. So that's what we're going to be concerning ourselves with.
You got to go out there and find them and fish clean. Look, you guys, started the season. Every team had the same goal, the same aspiration. That was Lake Chickamauga at the end of October.
Yeah.
You guys are 2 wins away from potentially hoisting that or having a chance to hoist the KFL Cup. Tell me what that means for you. I mean, obviously behind you, look there. You've got, the own individual, checks and plaques and trophies. Yeah. Tell me what it would be for you, for this team, for you guys to have a chance to battle out for that KFL Cup.
I mean, it would mean everything. That's why we signed up for the KFL. I mean, we knew that we had a group of guys in Pennsylvania that we thought like, hey, if we get together and we put our minds together, I think that we can really accomplish something in this league, and that's what we're aiming for. And I think that's would be the most important thing about and the greatest sense of gratitude that you could get from that is just coming together as a collective, figuring the fish out, putting the information together, and being able to do that on a week-to-week basis. Like it would really validate all the work we've done this season.
If you could put just one word, give me one word to describe. You can elaborate on it after the word, but just give me one word to describe the Pennsylvania Bronzebacks.
One word to describe the Pennsylvania Bronzebacks. I would say resilient, because we had a lot of games this season where we could have said, well, all right, the season's not going our way. But then we always found a way to fight back. Like, we'd always get a good win. We'd always catch that last minute fish. I mean, like, we had the same thing go down in Motor City. It wasn't looking great for us. And then Frank Madalevich again caught a really nice one at the end of the game. I think it was an 18 he had at the end of our game, our win on the road in Motor City. And then Ryan, last minute, Ryan Madalevich, he caught a 20 right at the end of the game. I mean, we don't give up till lines is out. And even on a broader scheme, I think that we know how to handle a loss and we could come back from it.
You know, the Knights are going to give you guys all they've got. They're going to send out their best lineup, which is probably going to include a national champion in Mike Elsey.
Sure.
Tell me what is the intimidation factor going against this team? Again, we discussed they haven't lost a match at home. You guys got to make that travel across to Indy on a lake that's not super familiar to anyone. Tell me what the intimidation factor is for your four guys that are going out, knowing that those guys have done what they've done at home.
Yeah, I know our four guys and how they feel, and respectfully, like, to Indy, none. We're not going to be intimidated, because we are going to fish what we know how to fish the water that's in front of us, and we're going to try to put up the best 10 fish that we can put up, and we'll let the chips fall where they may.
Well, again, Nick, you know, nothing but respect to what you guys have done. I mean, at one point this season, you got, you know, all of us on the KFL were talking about you guys as the hottest team and one of the toughest outs in the league. So you guys earned that. Again, big road trip, Indy, 2 wins away, 1 away from the money, but that's not the goal. The goal is that trophy at the end of the season. You know, let's sum it up with this. How do you feel with the rest of the road for the rest of the season?
We're going to take it one game at a time. I know it's cliche, but we need to, before we can even think about what happens down the line, we need to beat Indy, and that's what we need to focus on.
Absolutely. Well, Nick, I appreciate you taking the time to come on with us tonight. I appreciate the interview. Again, tell the guys, KFL says nothing but best of luck to them and all the safety out on the water. I appreciate the interview time, and good luck the rest of the way.
Yeah, thanks, Keith. Thanks for having me on.
Appreciate it, Nick.
All right.